In today's video, we'll be talking about all the things that start from Elon's search for a free speech platform to firing most of the Twitter staff and now begging them to come back. So buckle up as we're going into the interesting background story of the romance between Elon and Twitter. The acquisition of Twitter by Elon Musk has definitely set its place as the hottest topic of 2022. The infamous Elon Musk in this Twitter clash began buying shares of Twitter in January 2022. By October 27, 2022, the acquisition of Twitter was concluded, and Elon Musk officially became the biggest shareholder of Twitter with a 9.1% ownership stake. This acquisition created havoc in many people's lives because just a week after Elon Musk took over, he started firing numerous people. It's said that on November 4, 2022, 3,700 Twitter employees, or should we say previous Twitter employees, received their firing letters via emails, and it would not be wrong to say that this decision left people stunned. Also, it's said that those people make up around 50% of Twitter's workforce. Now, the question arises, what made Elon Musk do this terrible thing? Well, the company began informing some employees that they'd been laid off early Friday morning. The emails, some of which the Times obtained, varied according to an employee's region or country. One New York-based employee received an email informing them that their job had been impacted, but that they would still be employed until a separation date in early February. During this time, you will be on a non-working notice period, and your access to Twitter systems will be deactivated, read the email, which was also signed Twitter, adding that employees would receive severance information within a week. Some employees in Dublin, the European headquarters of Twitter, were disconnected from the internal computer system on Friday morning and received an email informing them of the job cuts. These decisions are never easy to make, the company said, and it is with regret that we write to inform you that your role at Twitter has been identified as potentially impacted or at risk of redundancy. The note stated that decisions were being made based on the country where a person resides and that more information would be shared as soon as possible. According to local media, Twitter employees in India have also been laid off, with over 90% of employees laid off over the weekend. The company employed around 200 people and has about a dozen employees left. According to the reports, 70% of the cuts were made in product and engineering teams, with marketing, public policy, and corporate communications personnel also being let go. More executives have resigned or been fired after the purchase, and managers have been asked to compile lists of high and low-performing employees, most likely with a view to layoffs. Elon Musk's great plans of changing the market are not new to anyone. He's always talked about replacing its employees with robots because the machines are more accessible to maintain and work with. So, does firing Twitter employees have something to do with robots? Well, it's not. The reason for the Twitter employees' cut-down given by Elon Musk is simple yet outrageous. He says that firing employees is a way to cut costs, but the cut-down is not just associated with employees at this point. On November 13, 2022, Casey Newton reported that Twitter laid off approximately 4,400 of its 5,500 contract employees. Newton also stated that the contractors were not warned but denied access to Slack and email. Elon Musk's take on this issue is that he wants Twitter to be a reliable source of information, hence eliminating access to people is the only way to make it more authentic. Musk also claimed as Twitter pursues the goal of elevating citizen journalism, the media elite will try everything to stop it. He further added, mainstream media still thrives, but increased competition from citizens will cause them to be more accurate, as their oligopoly on information is disrupted. But the most recent hot news in the town is that Twitter is practically begging some employees to return. According to people familiar with the situation, some of those being asked back were laid off by mistake. In contrast, others were needed for Musk's $8 a month free speech future for Twitter. In an indication that laying off half the company was a bad idea, dozens of Twitter employees who were given notice on Friday were reportedly asked to return over the weekend. While this will only bring back a fraction of the nearly 3,700 people believed to have been laid off following Elon Musk's acquisition of the app and website, it does appear to be a tacit admission that the world's richest man's decision to gut the business was hasty. The SpaceX founder, who has surrounded himself with close friends and advisors at Twitter to run the company, has stated that paying subscribers will appear more prominently on timelines, and that he plans to offer longer-form blogging via Twitter, among other things. Musk mentioned building a paywall bypass for some publishers in a tweet. Silly Robin, an ex-Twitter employee, responded, "Musk has fired the team working on that specific feature," before listing more examples of Musk and his associates talking about new or upcoming features about firing the teams in charge of building them. Elon Musk defends himself by claiming that Twitter is losing $4 million per day, which is why the layoff was necessary. It is unclear, but some sources claim that if Twitter had continued as it had been, the company would have faced bankruptcy in the long run, which is why Elon Musk did what he had to do. According to messages leaked from the company's internal Slack workspace over the weekend, Twitter leadership panicked. After getting the go-ahead from above, the senior staff asked Tweeps if there was anyone they could pull back to help with product development. A note was reportedly shared on Twitter by journalist Casey Newton, which stated, "Sorry to @everybody on the weekend, but I wanted to pass along that we have the opportunity to ask folks that were let go if they will come back," one manager slacked to her coworkers. "I must put together names and rationales by 4 p.m. PST on Sunday. I'll do some research, but if any of you who've been in contact with folks who might come back and who we think will help us, please nominate tomorrow before 4. He further added, "I think we might use some Android and iOS help." The California and U.S. Federal WARN Act applies to Twitter layoffs, which state that companies employing more than 100 people who go through a mass layoff, such as letting go 500 or more employees in a month, must provide 60 days of notice or 60 days of pay in place of that warning. A California's Employment Development Department spokesman said the agency had received no such notices from Twitter, which is based in San Francisco and is expected to report mass layoffs to the state agency. A class action lawsuit was filed in federal court in San Francisco on behalf of employees who claimed they were not given the required notice. Other former employees have already sued Twitter for WARN Act violations, though an email sent to Twitter employees may contain a loophole that makes it more challenging to get that legal case heard. Moreover, Elon Musk agreed to keep employee compensation and benefits the same for 1 year as part of his deal to acquire Twitter. According to an internal benefits summary obtained by The Times, Twitter employees are typically paid at least 2 months' salary and the cash value of the equity they were scheduled to receive within 3 months of a layoff date. According to a copy of the letter obtained by Business Insider, today is your last working day at the company, but you will continue to be employed by Twitter and will receive compensation and benefits until your separation date of February 2, 2023. While you are not expected to work during the non-working notice period, you must still comply with all company policies, including the employee playbook and code of conduct, tweeted laid-off employees. It's unclear what this means for employees who've been asked to return. According to the WARN Act's federal regulations, an employee has a reasonable expectation of recall when they understand, through notification or industry practice, that their employment with the employer has been temporarily interrupted and that they will be recalled to the same or similar job. Twitter's email to affected employees could be read to imply that recalls were possible, given that Tweeps are still employed until February, or that they weren't, given that no mention of recalls was made. It's unclear how this will apply to recalled employees. Still, it could mean that making a large counteroffer to return or refusing the request would give Twitter grounds to fire those employees without paying them for the remainder of their severance period. The time frame may also resolve the issue of the 60-day notice period. Finally, Musk claims that Twitter usage has increased since his takeover. According to one report, more than 15 million monetizable daily active users have allegedly joined since the second quarter of 2022, bringing the total to more than 250 million. In a recent tweet, Musk said, "Twitter feels increasingly alive." Finally, while the Tesla tycoon has voted Democrat in the past, he believes that in the 2022 U.S. midterm elections, people should vote Republican to balance out the Democrat president, an extremely and depressing oversimplified view of today's American politics. All the while, He keeps pulling as many levers and pressing as many buttons as possible to reshape Twitter in a way that pleases everyone all of the time. Most people debate that Elon Musk's Twitter purchase was itself an awful decision, as he paid around $44 billion for the acquisition. Musk raised funds for his bid by selling Tesla stock, obtaining bank loans, and obtaining funding from investment firms and other partners. Twitter is not doing well now, as the company does not even make around $1 billion a year. So it would not be wrong to say that the intelligent Elon Musk might have made a wrong decision this time, but we cannot say what the thoughts behind the purchase are. This deal may turn out to be the best for him in the upcoming years. The company has also launched a new subscription plan called Twitter Blue, which includes a verification checkmark for any user who pays $8 per month. The company also stated that it would soon launch other features such as half the ads, the ability to post longer videos, and priority ranking in replies, mentions, and searches. Elon Musk also brought in more than 50 engineers and employees from his other companies, including Tesla, to review the Twitter layoff lists and the social platform's technology. Elon Musk is under tremendous pressure to make Twitter profitable. The transaction represented the largest leveraged buyout of a technology company in history. The billionaire also loaded up about $13 billion in debt on Twitter for the acquisition and will have to pay about $1 billion in interest payments each year. However, Twitter has frequently lost money and its cash flow is not robust. Musk may benefit from cost-cutting measures that make the company's operation less expensive and make Twitter a better place for everyone. So, what are your thoughts on Elon Musk's move to make Twitter a better place for everybody? Was Musk's decision to lay off employees right or wrong? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. We would love to hear your thoughts. If you want to keep updated on the latest Elon Musk news, don't forget to subscribe with notifications turned on. Click the video on the screen now to watch another fascinating video.